What's up? Jason Purcell here. We're back in my tiny little workshop, and this is Small Workshop Essentials Part 2. On this episode, we're going to focus on measuring devices. And I have a bunch laid out in front of me here that are very specific to the size work that I do in this little shop. I'm not going to need 100-foot measuring tape or anything like that, but here are a few things that I find useful that I hope you will too. We're going to start with the smallest and work our way up to the largest. Number one, small little machinist's rule. It's fairly fine down here. You know, you can get pretty tight. This is for very, very, very small things. There's actually something here that will measure things even smaller than this will. But this is a good thing to get you started. Wait. They're cheap, but this is useful for a couple different reasons. You've got, metric and imperial, obviously. The width of this is actually perfect for finger joints. That's what I found anyway. Sometimes they even come with other implements. You might get one. This one actually came with the next thing that I'm going to show you. That's a good place to start. So a little machinist's ruler right here. This next bit is pretty cool. It's a decent set of digital calipers. Basically what a set of calipers is a very, very precise way to measure things under a foot. Well, how it works is you've got some magical components in here that read here very precisely, and you have a digital readout that shows you exactly how big your object is. It allows you to do exterior size, interior size with these two little bits. You can put that and try to find like the inside measurement of a hole. You can do that. And you can precisely measure your tenons for mortise and tenon. And also, if you've got a blind hole that you're drilling into and needing to secure, you've got a little post that comes out that will tell you precisely how deep something is too. I'm wearing a Hempire shirt. They're a metal band from Boone County, North Carolina. You should go check them out. Moving on, two different kinds of squares. First, your static square. This is just a regular, perfectly 90-degree square. This one's from Pittsburgh. This is just an essential tool for making things right, literally. A lot of versatility when it comes to scribing lines on wood pieces, finding perfect corners. This also allows you to make sure that your edges are square. You can lay this on an edge you know is square, and then this area down here can let you know if you have any deviation of square on this particular surface down here, and vice versa. Next, this kind of square. This is a very, very nice piece. I like this thing. This is a combo square. So basically what you got is you have a movable ruler down here, and you have a little brass fitting that tightens this bit down. So you can mark it at a certain size. Say we're going to go 8 inches. So we'll mark it precisely at 8 inches and we'll lock it down. And when you lock it down right at that 8-inch mark, this isn't going to move. So you have a precise 8-inch point, and you can take this and put it flush to the side of the piece and make your mark. Now, you can make your mark one of two ways. You can use your pencil here and just mark along the line, or a lot of them have this little handy thing up here. This is a scribe, a line scribe right here, where you can draw your line very precisely in your piece. Next on the docket, very important, Carpenter Square. Now, some people call it a speed square. This is a very useful tool. Number one, out the gate, perfect 90 degree. So again, in woodworking, you work with a lot of flush corners. You work with a lot of 90 degree angles. You very rarely are going to be working in obtuse or acute angles unless you're, working. I suppose you will if you're doing furniture that is organic in some way. If you're working with organic forms, absolutely you're going to be working with acute and obtuse angles. But if you're working like I do, I need things to be square. So what the hell else does this thing do? I mean, you already have the thing that shows me a perfect 90. Well, if you look at all these other little marks here, you'll see that they are fanned out in certain directions. And they also have a marker here that says degree, 80, 75. So you have a pivot point right here. You also have an internal pivot point here. Depending upon where you ground this and pivot it can get you all these different angles. But this is really great for getting really tight angles, also establishing really tight lines for hand cutting or machine cutting as well. If you're pretty good with a jigsaw or a circular saw, all you really need is this and a straight edge. Cut to a ruled straight edge. Now this is a 3-foot ruled straight edge. This is about as big as things get in my shop. I don't really make anything much larger than this. A 3-foot, very precise metal, gotta be metal, plastic doesn't work in a wood shop. For establishing a long, straight line, it's a little difficult to do just with like any other implement really. You could snap a chalk line, but you're not gonna snap a chalk line under 3 feet. It's just not gonna work out for you. This is essential for using in conjunction with this or this to lengthen a very precise straight line. And obviously you can measure with it too. I mean, you could, if you have one of these and if you have these two things right here, you're good to go. 2 more things. If you like this content and you'd like to see more of it, please hit the like button, comment on the video, check out my channel. If you like what you see, subscribe. Last 2 things. Just a good old bubble level. This thing is fantastic for a couple different reasons. It helps you hang pictures in your house. Also, this can establish square for you. So say you want to make sure your line is level. Well, you're going to bring this to the line and you're going to set it on the material. And if that little bubble is where it's supposed to be, then you're good to go. A lot of things come with leveling built into them, but you can use this to make sure that you're vertically square, horizontally square. You can use this to draw your straight lines. This is better for crude straight lines. Last but not least, this is usually the first measuring implement anybody gets their hands on aside from a ruler. Tape measure. Simple tape measure. My 2 cents on tape measures is never buy any tape measure that's under 25 feet. But Jason, you said that you don't make anything over 3 feet, so why do you need a 25-foot tape measure? I'll tell you, calm down. 25-foot tape measure is what I grew up with. It's what I know. It's a form factor that I have confidence in. That's the biggest thing. You need to have confidence in your tools before you use them properly. A tape measure, we all know and we all can use. I get the 25-footer because, sometimes I do have to take measurements of my house to move things, to plot rooms out, to find out where pictures are going to be on the wall, to establish, 16 on center holes for lag bolts to hang televisions or whatever I might be doing. This allows me plenty of room to measure. You want to get one that's fairly tight. You want to get one that's like this. This is great. So you have all of your markings here, your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inch, but you also have your eighths established, and within that you also have your 16ths and your 32nds. So you can, using just this, mark out very, very precise measurements, and then you can use any one of these implements to extend that line. That's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it brought to light some different things about measuring implements that you can implement in your daily working, in your crafting, in your DIYing, in your making of cigar box guitars, whatever the heck it might be. As always, I love you guys, love each other, and I will see you on the next one.